I'm starting to question my sanity at the moment, guys. So basically the weather here in North Queensland is not looking so great. So I can't do a lot of work on the other boat that's sitting out in the open. I've got this one under cover. This is a far smaller boat. This is a little 15-foot 6 Vickers Easy Rider. I got this one for free on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm basically going through a rebuild with this one. So what I thought I'd do is have a look at this one and go through what I'm doing, what I intend to do with it, and give you a look. So what I've started to do is I originally got rid of the old gunnels, or the top plate, and I started to replace them. Now I'll go through that process a lot more a little bit later, so you can see how I've done it, what I've done, because I've only done one side. I've started to do one side anyway, so that's pretty much it there. The other side is just sitting there in the breeze. Boop, boop, boop. So what I did there was basically ground out areas where I need the glass later, and I put some gunnel supports in there. I've got nice wide gunnel that's 135 millimeters wide, and going to support that a little bit more later on anyway. So anyway, let's have a look at this. So what we've got is a stringer system. I've raised that a little bit from its original height where the floor would have been sitting in here, so I'm bringing it up a little bit. I think my original thoughts, it's been 18 months since I've been able to do anything with this boat. The original thought was to try and see if I can create some sort of a self-draining deck, but I don't know whether it's going to be high enough. I don't know whether that's going to work or not, but let's hope it does. So the product that I've used in this build is not Thermalite, it's not Coosa board, it is FF360. Actually, we'll have a look at this one here. Let's just turn this camera around for a second. So this is the product here. This is FF360. I've still got a laminate around that. So that's the foam. That's a H60 foam with laminates on either side. Chop strand mat, and I believe it's double bias. So very, very solid. If we have a look over here, just let me pause you for a sec. Check this out. This is a 1 pound, 2 pound hammer, something like that. I'm just going to give these stringers a bit of a belt and see what it does, see if it marks them, see if I destroy this boat. Let's see. What's that done? Let's have a look. A couple of marks there. If you were to hit something at speed, if the hull was made of this stuff, I'm pretty sure it'd hang in there pretty well, but that in my books is pretty strong. If you'd done that with alloy or anything else, aluminum, then you'd have some pretty big dents in it. But that seems to have absorbed, I don't know whether it absorbs the shock or it's just strong, but it's pretty good. I've got a fuel tank up the front there. So that fuel tank there holds about 100 to 120 litres of fuel, with the intent that that'll give me a range. I'm thinking about maybe a 90 horsepower on the back of this. I don't want anything too big, I don't want anything too heavy, because this is going to be a hybrid boat where I want to be able to take it up the creeks, and that's a very good point. I need to explain that. That's the reason that I used this particular material, this H60 foam, or the FF360, is because it's lighter. It's lighter than Thermalite, it's lighter than Coosa, and I wanted to try and keep this boat as light as I can without turning it into a bang, 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 bang sort of horrible boat. So I've got heaps of structure in there. That needs to be tidied up a fair bit too. This has been 18 months since I've pulled this boat out and done anything with it, so I've got to clean all of this up. I've got a fair bit of grinding to do in there. I've got conduits in there for my electrical. That's where the console's going to be. Let's get up and have a look. So you can see fuel tanks in there. It's a stainless steel fuel tank. Heaps of stringer system in there. Again, like I said, they've got to clean that up. I've cut a bunch of holes in there because we had a heap of rain and all the rest of it. I've cut a heap of holes in there so that the water can run to the back, and I don't have any problems with the water pooling up or anything. and I haven't had, it's been pretty good. The conduits, so what I've done is drilled 40mm holes there, 40mm medium density electrical conduits, and corrugated conduit up the end there. So what corrugated conduit is, let me show you. For those of you that don't know, it's a very flexible conduit. It's corrugated, so you can put heaps of bends in it and everything else. So this is where I intend to have the console, the rear console, and these conduits just make it a lot easier for me to be able to get it into place. It's mechanical protection for the cabling and everything else, or for my wires, and put a snake through them. I'll show you all of that when it comes to doing the electrical system on this boat. I run a snake through the conduits. You can have bends in them and all the rest of it. There's two ways of typically doing it. You can use a draw wire, so as you're putting the conduits in, you run a wire through there, and when you go to run your cables, you tie the cable to it and you pull it through. Or we use a snake. The snake, you push it through from the other end, comes out the other end, you tie your cables through it and pull it back out, if that makes sense. I'm going to show you all of that anyway later on, further down the track, when I do all the electrical. So this conduit turns up here. I've got an end cap on that at the moment, basically to stop any water from getting into it. An elbow, I don't think I've glued that yet. No, I've got to glue all of that in. The corrugated conduit, like I said before, so it's nice and flexible and get that up. And then another one going to the stern, and I've got two going up to the bow. So it's a pretty small boat. The structure of it is probably 10 times stronger than it was when it was originally built. I need to go back and fix a few areas up and make it look a lot better, but it's going to be super strong. Gonna have to put some big battery boxes in here as well, eh? So an electric motor will go up the front, and yeah, let's have a look. Let's just have a quick squeeze around, compare what it was. So that's all going to come out. Your stringer system, fix that up. Big casting deck. I want to put a big casting deck up the front here. So I don't know exactly how high I'm going to do it yet, but it's going to come up past that fuel tank, and I don't know, about yay high, right through to, it'll have to go right through to the end of the fuel tank down there. So yeah, over here, so it'll come to about here, and then it might even butt up. No, it won't butt it up against that. I'll bring it down so that it just drops down behind that fuel tank, and then the rest of the boat will be like standard height. Maybe. I'm going to be changing my mind a heap during this project. I'm going to do different things, try them out, stand up on it, see if it works. If it doesn't work, I'll cut it out and do it again, or just put it down and play with it. Lots of different ideas, lots of different things to do, lots and lots of work to finish this off.